Hello, good day. My name is Sharice Bisuna, and today we're going to be doing journal number 3, the design and layout of a commercial kitchen. We're going to start by discussing how the design and layout of a contemporary commercial kitchen directly affect 1. Kitchen service flow, 2. Space utilization, and lastly, 3. Staff efficiency in food and beverage operations. Firstly, let's talk about what the layout does. The layout of a commercial kitchen is initially the engine for a high-powered machine such as a restaurant. The layout dictates the work triangle. The point, which is the path between the storage, and the sides, preparation, and cooking. This determines how smoothly information and products are moved within this space. For kitchen service flow, things such as zonal layout or grouped areas are most efficient. What does this mean? Zonal layouts specifically choose tasks such as sauteing, grilling, frying, etc. that worked in a sequenced area. This prevents cross-traffic between staff, in which a chef plating a dish is not necessarily colliding with someone that is frying or cooking something for another dish. Space utilization. Every square foot within a Trinidadian or international commercial kitchen is real estate. How much you can utilize a space directly impacts how much money you can bring in at the end of the day. Vertical storage areas and multifunctional equipment like combi ovens, for example, works to maximize the front of house capabilities while in the back of the house without restricting both parties. Within staff efficiency, ergonomics play a major role. For example, if a line cook can reach their refrigeration, tools, utensils, and seasonings within 2 steps, everything is fine. Their output and productivity is therefore increased multifold. So now let's discuss some of the consequences of poor layouts and design within a commercial kitchen. 1. A large major term that most people will know is bottlenecking. What is bottlenecking? For example, if a pickup station is placed as an improper point within a commercial kitchen, there are lots of traffic jams that are going to be happening between front of house and back of house staff. This can cause hazards, coalitions, injuries, and much more things to occur. On top of this, increased fatigue might also occur because front of house and back of house now have to use alternative routes to get away from this traffic of footprints. This leads to staff burnout, therefore slower ticket times, meaning less output, less production from your staff. And lastly, crowded walkways and areas can increase hazards as previously stated, but this time in terms of workplace accidents. Next, we'll be moving on to atmosphere, hygiene, and customer perception. Within the modern Trimbigonian trends, new things such as open concept kitchens are excellent in foodie cultures. What does this mean? Kitchens are no longer hidden. We are being perceived and looked at in a different viewpoint. So what needs to be prioritized? Food safety and hygiene. This means distinct zone areas as before, but for different purposes. A well-designed kitchen separates soiled areas such as dishwashing, cleaning station from clean areas such as cooking and plating. Non-porous surfaces and adequate drainage are not just necessary requirements now, they are foundational steps in a well-designed kitchen. So how does restaurant layout or kitchen layout change a customer's perspective? In many local establishments, the kitchen is visible. A chaotic, messy kitchen does not give a very enthusiastic response or perception from the guests. These areas suggest poor management to the guests, which in turn to them translates to poor food quality. Therefore, sanitized, clean, established, quiet, and maintained kitchen areas ensures trust to guests. So their interconnection. Hygiene dictates and expects safety. Within Trinidad and Tobago, one safety lapse can lead to a viral moment for a company or a restaurant, which tanks their entire reputation. These things need to be prevented at all costs. So now let's talk about the 5 M's of kitchen design. 1. Market. Who are you feeding? A high volume grab and go or fast food chain in Port of Spain, this is different from a sit down fine dining restaurant in South or West Moorings. Who is your audience? Who is eating? What is your market? 2. Menu. What is being cooked? For example, If your menu consists of over 80% of grilled item, this changes the entire layout of your kitchen. This changes the ventilation setup. This changes what equipment needs to be bought. So in order to ensure proper kitchen design, we must know what our menu is. 3. Money. The budget dictates almost every aspect of a restaurant, but particularly a kitchen. It dictates the quality of equipment or materials that a kitchen will receive. It determines the CAPEX, also known as the capital expenditure, versus the OPEX, operational expenditure. Number 4. Management. This refers to the style of supervision that is needed within a kitchen, therefore what staff is going to be hired. An open plan kitchen, for example, allows a head chef to see all stations at once, whereas different sectors of a kitchen determine if one whole head chef is needed or a pastry chef is also needed for cold or butcher style kitchens. Lastly, 5. Method of execution. How things will be cooked, how the menu will be prepared, determines the need for large prep point areas and highly expensive specialized equipment. So what are some challenges of misalignment between the 5 M's that we've just previously talked about? When these factors are not aligned, the operation suffers from structural dysfunction. So for one, menu versus space. Say the menu described freshly baked bread every day, but the money and the space didn't allow for a proofing oven or a proofing room. Therefore, the method of execution has failed. Similarly, market versus money. Over-investing in high-end equipment for low-market menu products results in a business that cannot recover from its initial costs. And lastly, there may be a huge impact on safety and hygiene. For example, if a certain dish item requires a large prep scale area that cannot be used at a time, certain perishable items can be left out or in smaller spaces until they are used. This is unsafe and unhygienic, directly violating many food safety standards and protocols. So now, let's think about a hypothetical scenario in which the 5 M's are used, such as a restaurant concept within Trinidad and Tobago. I propose a restaurant called the Maracas Smokehouse, located within the Maracas Valley. 1. Let's talk about their market. Their market is usually going to be filled with busy lunchtime corporate crowds, excursion or party goers, and evening commuters. What does this tell us? This means they require speed and efficiency. Therefore, their design layout must prioritize a fast-forward concept to prevent delays and accidents. 2. Their menu. Their menu consists of many smoked meats, highly specializing in seafood due to their location to the ocean. They also urge to incorporate lots of local complex sides such as provisions, stews, etc. This, combined with signature sauces that need to be made and kept fresh daily, allows for kitchen design to be indoor and outdoor, in which dedicated cold prep areas and hot prep areas are excessively needed. Ventilation sites also must be critical. 3. Money. With a fixed starter budget and high costs within areas such as Maracas, tourist zones, the design must maximize every square footage that is given within this restaurant establishment. Instead of a sprawling kitchen where everything is phased out, vertical storage must be utilized. 4. Management. A direct and lean staff will definitely be needed, as this is a fast-paced industry and establishment. Therefore, a layout with an open-sighted area is essential, as one singular manager can be able to view all areas of prep and sale. 5. Their method of execution. Within the smokehouse, everything besides seafood uses a batch, cook, and serve technique. What this means is not all areas will be used at once, such as not 10 persons will be sauteing or grilling at a certain time. Certain things will be grilled, held on the line, and make sure that the temperatures are monitored for appropriate and hot dishes for our guests. So let's talk about some trade-offs. The first trade-off, space versus menu. What's the conflict? The menu requires large smokers and large refrigeration devices, but the money or rent limits this. The design solution, using outdoor fitted smoker ranges, such as areas on the beach, or installing stackable combi ovens that save floor space. 2. atmosphere versus the kitchen. The conflict: the market wants an open, breezy concept. However, management needs to hide messy bulk work, such as cleaning of seafood and meat for preparation. Our introduction for a solution: a half-built wall that hides messy prep but allows guests to see the chefs while they work. The most visible parts will be at the saute or grilling station, particularly outside. Inside, the guests will still have a bit of privacy, but they feel like they are part of the cooking experience. Lastly, speed versus safety. Our conflict: the market requires fast, speedy service. However, the method of execution requires low, slow building and smoking. What's our solution? We implement a U-shaped workflow workspace. Half of the curve will be used by fast, speedy workers that need to do plated dishes now, whereas persons that have longer dishes, such as smoked meats or smoked seafood, etc., will be on a separate curve. Both areas together but apart. My adaptation for designing things for effectiveness is putting large equipment on wheels for mobility, such as refrigeration devices, stoves, ovens, if possible, as this is a business that smoked ingredients can be placed outside and then returned in for other things. Refrigeration: large bulks of seafood that need to be kept at certain temperatures, ensuring HACCP is done. Thank you very much.